In this video, we'll discuss Spark classification using UnifyML SQL. Now, let's see the gradient boost tree classification model using the UnifyML query. Here, we run our Spark gradient boost tree classification model. Now, let's see this simple Spark gradient boost tree classification using UnifyML query. Spark gradient boost tree classifier. Input table. Mention your input table. Input columns. Mention your required input columns. Target column. Target column to be predicted. Max bins. Maximum number of bins used for discretizing continuous features. Maximum depth. Maximum depth of the tree. Maximum iterations. Number of max iterations. Min info gain. Minimum information gain required for a split at the tree node. Seed. Random seed. Training sample size. Split the data into training and test sets. Mention the training data here, the rest will be test data. Data scaling. We use min-max scaler. Mention the minimum and maximum scaler values. The data will be scaled between 0 and 1. Save model. Output model. Saving the model for future predictions using the Spark gradient boost tree classifier. There are more parameters for the Spark gradient boost tree classifier. You can refer to the UnifyML documentation. Input data types. To change input column data types, mention this parameter. Hyperparameter tuning. Two types, train validation and cross-validation. Parameters include max bins, max depth, max iterations, min info gain, seed, and parallelism. Parallelism defines the number of folds for training and test data separation. PCA model. To apply PCA, mention your PCA model name. Data cleaning. For methods, remove row, remove duplicates, remove outliers, and fill. Fill with values allows handling of null values or modifying column data. Data scaling methods. 4 types: min-max scaler, normalizer, standard scaler, and binarizer. For min-max scaler, specify the min and max scaler values. Input cache. If data is cached, mention input cache instead of input table. Bytes per chunk. These are all input arguments for the Spark gradient boost tree classifier. Mention required arguments based on your data. Running the query. Run this query, which executes in the backend of the UnifyML server. Output. This is the result of the Spark gradient boost tree classifier. It includes accuracy, test error, and output model name. Now, let's predict using the Spark gradient boost tree classifier predict function with UnifyML query. Prediction process. Input table. Mention your predict input table. Input model. Specify the save model. There are more parameters for the classifier predict function. You can refer to the UnifyML documentation. Input data types. To change column data types, use the input data types parameter. Data cleaning. For methods, remove row, remove duplicates, remove outliers, and fill. Fill with values is used for handling null values or modifying column data. Data scaling. For methods, min-max scaler, standard scaler, normalizer, and binarizer. For min-max scaler, specify min and max values. Input cache ID. If data is cached, mention input cache ID instead of input table. Saving predictions. Save to DB. To save predictions in a database, mention save to DB and specify the output table name. Overwrite output table. If the table exists and you want to overwrite it, set overwrite to true. Save to CSV. To save predictions as a CSV file, mention save to CSV and specify the output file name. Bytes per chunk. These are all input arguments for gradient boost tree classifier predict. Mention required arguments based on prediction needs. Running the prediction query. Run this query, which executes in the UnifyML server backend. Prediction output. This is the output of the Spark gradient boost tree classifier predict function. These are the input columns, and this is the predicted output column. You can use the same approach for any classification dataset using the Spark gradient boost tree classifier. Thank you for watching this video.